There are around 30 people that have been proven to have highly superior autobiographical memory, which is also known as hyperthermesia. People with hyperthermesia have mostly normal brain structures, but often have more than average white matter connecting the middle and front parts of the brain, and they also have a more expanded hippocampus with high elasticity.
What is it like for most of us to try to remember our lives? Scientists say most of us can remember, what, 20, 30, 40 emotional events, powerful days in our lives as it goes by. But you're going to meet a woman with a one-of-a-kind memory that allows her to replay her life like a movie, recalling each day in detail, emotional detail. Researchers say it is an autobiographical memory that is simply unmatched. Scientists at the University of California, Irvine have been studying it for 8 years, and she has kept her identity a secret all that time. But now she is ready to talk on GMA and in a new book called The Woman Who Can't Forget. They call her AJ. The subject of most medical studies are usually anonymous. She's a woman with the most amazing memory known to science.
By understanding how her brain does this, we may help write a new chapter of memory research.
It's gotten to be just like any reference. I mean, you go to the internet, you look in an encyclopedia, or you ask my sister.
AJ remembers details of what she did every single day since she was 14, instantly recalling dates of news events in her lifetime.
She has the ability in a split second to tell you dates, times, what she was doing, what we were doing, what was happening in history. It's hard to describe.
For her, being able to forget isn't easy. She became a fascination around the world, the human calendar, doctors, journalists wanting to meet her, her voice heard on the radio just once.
If I'm able to cure a disease, it's a gift. But to remember, like, the end of every relationship, or, you know, anything, it's hard. But it has formed who I am because I remember everything.
People with hyperthymesia are people who spend a lot of time thinking about their personal past and have a large capacity to remember specific events. Jill Price was the first person recognized with hyperthymesia. Actress Mary Lou Henner was also a famous person with hyperthymesia. Other people who have found to have hyperthymesia are Ari Elian Heyman, Bob Petrella, Brad Williams, Rick Barron, and other people.
When did the first episode of The Wild Wild West air?
I love that show. September 17th, 1965, Friday nights.
Okay, but what was the follow-up, the show that followed Wild Wild West?
The show right on
after.
the network after would be Hogan's Heroes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you just... I watched this stuff. You watched it, but you remember all the specifics of it, huh?
Well, a lot of them, yeah.
That's really incredible. What date was Ronald Reagan shot?
Ronald Reagan, that was March 30th, 1981.
And what day of the week was it?
It was a Monday. It was supposed to be the night of the Oscars, and they bumped it because of the shooting.
So has this done you any good? This knowledge, all this stuff you're carrying around?
I mean, besides this fantastic experience.
Besides this, it does help as far as, because I'm a news reporter, it helps sometimes in skipping, going to Google when I need to, or looking something up. It goes faster that way.
You are like a human Google.
That's right. Some people have said that. Yeah.
Say hello to everybody back in La Crosse, okay? Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. All right. We'll be right back in a moment.
People with hyperthymesia experience feelings from a long time ago with great intensity. They remember events and experiences, and their memories are very detailed and specific. People with hyperthymesia don't have a much better memory than regular people when it comes to like memory tests, but they see a really vivid picture of specific dates in their head when they're asked to remember them.
So I'm going to give you a quiz.
Okay.
All right? You ready? January 28th, 1986.
The Tuesday Challenger explosion.
Nelson Mandela is freed from prison.
February 11th, 1990.
Yes.
Sunday, yeah.
Ella Fitzgerald dies.
June 15th, 1996.
Wow. Yes.
Yes.
Final episode of Seinfeld.
May 14th, 1998, Thursday.
If I asked you to start from the first day you remember vividly, and could you go day by day?
Sure, I could. I mean, the other day I had a friend who said, how many movies do you think we've seen together? And I said, well, I'll count. And I started from the time we met in 1996, and it was like seeing a slideshow of each day of my life with this friend in sort of in full focus. Oh, okay, yes, we went to see this movie, we went to see that movie, we went to see Gladiator that day, we went to see, you know, the Royal Tenenbaums that day. Yeah.
So I could ask you a question like that would require you to take a fast look at every day, and you could actually do it.
I could do that. I know it's exhausting.
It's exhausting.
Scientists don't know much about hyperthymesia because it's a fairly new condition, but the research that's being done is being done at the University of California, Irvine by James McGough. Scientists are also trying to relate this condition with OCD, but they haven't found a direct link yet. And they're also trying to relate it to Alzheimer's and then hopefully find a cure for Alzheimer's.
A lot of the people visualize it sort of in a calendar way, like calendar pages. For me, the closest thing to it is kind of like selected scenes on a DVD. You know when you see that? Okay, so if you name a year, all of a sudden the entire year sort of like lays itself out in chronological order, and each day is a different selected scene, and some of them are more vivid than others, but I can go to each day and it sort of comes up.
I don't think I would want to remember everything in my life. I would like to remember more than I do because I forget little details now, I think because I have so much information coming in. But the short answer is no, I wouldn't want to remember everything. I think it's adaptive. Our sense of memory is adaptive, that things we need to forget, oftentimes we can forget, and things that we need to remember because we learned from them, we remember. And so as a result of that, I can't think of a single thing that I would want to forget. I have a lot of hard things and some tragic things that I can remember. And on the surface, I'd like to forget most of those. But I think when I look deeper, they probably serve some purpose by letting me be able to remember them. I would like to forget when Marquette beat UNC for the national championship in 1977.
Okay, I cannot remember every day of my life since I was a teenager. I can't remember most days from last week. I only remember things that are really important to me, and everything else I forget immediately. My wife hates it, but it's what I do. And as for things I would choose to forget, a lot of things, but one would be when I was a teenager and I was in the Poconos with my parents and I was fishing, and everybody was sitting on the shore and I was out on the dock alone fishing. And I reeled in my line and I went to cast, and I didn't look down at where I was stepping when I cast, and I stepped right off the end of the dock. And I lost the fishing rod, and my dad had to come out and get like a grappling hook and like a rake tied to a rope, and he would throw it in and try to pull the, and everybody was really mad at me. So that was embarrassing.
I had to forget anything like that happened in my life. I'd probably forget the time when I ran over a kitty, and it was my neighbor's cat, so it was kind of hard breaking the news to them. But yeah, I probably don't want to remember everything in my teenage years.
I would not want to remember every single day because too many of the embarrassing moments would be heavy, and so I'd like to forget a lot of those. An embarrassing moment I'd like to forget is in a chemistry class this year when I made a mistake on a worksheet. I had to correct that. And then on the next quiz that I gave, I made the same mistake, and when students pointed it out, I answered with some inappropriate language in front of the whole class that I wish I had not said.
Okay, so for embarrassing memory, which is when I was in 5th grade, my mom found out my text message with my little girlfriend which is pretty embarrassing, and I'm trying to forget about it, but I just, yeah, I think I forget about it now, but, you know, when you mention that, I just remember like it.
Oh, hello. I didn't see you there.
Who are these people? Two defining characters. Am I just reading it straight off of here?
People with hyperthymesia can feel feelings from, okay, so.
I would not want to remember every day of my life because I think it's easier to forget the embarrassing moments. Now you need, I don't remember the other question.
What's one memory you want to forget?
Stop. If I could remember every day, I would prefer not to remember every day. That didn't sound right. Can we start again?
Okay. Never mind.